I think it was a very collaborative address. I think that President Xi recognized the opportunities to form strategic alliances with the 17 CEEC countries on global challenges as well as the ongoing opportunities in trade and investment. And given the COVID-19 pandemic in the past year, this is sort of a restart for the summit and to bring in new opportunities and new relationships during the summit.
So then what did you see as the priorities for European nations participating in this year's meeting?
I think it's twofold. One is in dealing with the pandemic and making sure that they have adequate access to vaccine distribution for their countries, and also what happens post-pandemic. As far as a recovery, the opportunities to ally with China in terms of market access, in gaining market access in China, as well as having more exports to China, that I believe that was in the forefront as far as the CEE countries were concerned.
And we did see that President Xi also called on the relevant countries to really work together on what he called a new chapter in China's CEEC cooperation. Talk about the key areas that CEE countries want to see grow in their relationship with China, especially given the pandemic and then with an eye to a post-pandemic economic recovery.
You know, it's the practical issues. It's more access in terms of supply chains. Europe, the CEEC countries have a lot to offer in terms of the exports to China, and China has a lot to offer in terms of opening their markets for increased market access, especially in areas like automotives, electronics, those kinds of areas. And so just to have that dialogue during the summit between China as well as the CEEC countries, this is tremendous for them, especially in this year. Everybody is looking to what happens when there's widespread vaccine distribution and countries are looking to get back on their feet economically.
And President Xi did highlight that China and CEE countries have already taken steps early to align cross-regional cooperation in terms of the Belt and Road Cooperation, making Central and Eastern Europe the first region where all countries have signed agreements on Belt and Road Cooperation. How key do you think this is going to be to both China and CEE countries, given their strategic locations?
It's going to be tremendous in terms of the shipping and the commerce, the trade and the commerce, as well as the investment that can flow in and out of those countries, Central and Eastern Europe countries that are part of the CEEC. This again is a prime opportunity for both sides to continue those discussions and to take those concrete steps, particularly in light of the recent investment agreement that China and the alliance that they signed to make those concrete investments. So it's going beyond the discussions and the negotiations to those steps. And I think in the next 10 years, it's going to be something that we'll see real progress on.
And as you touch on the significance of last year's EU-China investment deal, what does that signal about where this relationship is headed?
It signals that both sides are very deliberate and determined to make this a reality. And it shows that there's real movement towards a multilateral alliance between the CEEC countries and China, because globally, for example, the United States, they are not part of this, and this may create more synergies between the CEEC countries and China outside of the orbit of other countries in the world.